and welcome back to English Classes Online. My name is Benjamin, and in today's lesson, we are going to look at IELTS reading, and our focus will be on understanding the basics. This is Module 2, Lesson 1 of the series of IELTS lessons, and if you have been able to go through the IELTS listening module, you must have actually understood what IELTS tests are all about. And in this module, we are going to look at IELTS reading. If you are interested in taking the test and getting the maximum scores, you must pay adequate attention to every lesson in this series. With this said, let's dive into the lesson right away. First of all, a quick overview of IELTS reading modules. Now, you will understand that the reading test is of two types. You have the academic module, you have the general training module. Now you know what the academic module is meant for and what the general training module is meant for. If you are trying to gain admission into the university or any of the colleges or universities in the country you are going into, then you need the academic module. If it is for immigration purposes, for citizenship, for work, to get employment, then you need to take the general test. So you need to understand whichever one you are going into. But there are similarities in the reading test because you have 60 minutes in the academic module. You also have 60 minutes in the academic module. There are 40 questions. There are 40 questions you are going to answer in the academic module. There are also 40 questions in the general module. So they are similar. There are 3 long reading passages with tasks, and the same thing applies to the general module. Then here you have the text range from descriptive and factual to discursive and analytical. All right, but here, section 1 contains 2 or 3 short factual tests. Then section 2 contains 2 short work-related factual, 2 short work-related factual texts. All right, so, but here you see includes non-verbal material such as diagrams or illustrations. That's the academic module. Here, section 3 contains 1 longer text on a topic of general interest, you see. Then the texts are authentic, e.g. taken from books, journals, and newspapers. Then here, texts are also authentic, taken from company handbooks, because it's for those who are going to seek employment, and also taken from official documents, books, and newspapers. So there are similarities with slight differences, all right? So now, let's look at which version of the IELTS reading test you should take, all right? Now, let's examine them quickly. IELTS Academic is required by universities and professional registration bodies. You should take the academic test if you want to apply for a place at a university or other higher education institution in an English country or in a non-native English-speaking country where courses are taught in the English language, all right? Now, IELTS Academic is also generally preferred by professional bodies in English-speaking countries and required for registration, all right? If you are a medical doctor or let's say this is particularly the case in fields such as medicine, nursing, pharmacy, accounting, engineering, law, and teaching. All right. So if you are going into any of those professions, you are required to register as a professional, and of course, you need the IELTS test. Now, IELTS General is for people wanting to work in or emigrate to the UK, Ireland, Australia, Canada, or New Zealand. It is widely accepted for visa and employment applications, education at high school level, non-academic training such as practical vocational courses. All right, so that is exactly what the IELTS reading test is required. You know, if you are going for education at high school level, you know, for employment, non-academic training such as practical vocation courses, you need the general IELTS test. Now let's proceed and look at the structure, the IELTS reading test structure. You need to understand that there are 3 sections: reading passage 1, 20 minutes, reading passage 2, 20 minutes, and reading passage 3, 20 minutes. All right. Then let's look at the types of questions to expect in the IELTS reading test. There are 10 different types of questions. Of course, there are some others. Number 1, multi-choice. 2, short answer questions. 3, sentence completion questions. 4, notes, table, form, summary, flow chart. These are grouped together in this classification. Then 5, yes, no, not giving, true, false, or not giving. These are various types of questions. You have yes or no question, true or false question, and so on and so forth. Now, number 6, classification questions. 7, matching questions. 8, choosing headings. 9, scanning, identifying location or information. And 10, labeling a diagram which has numbered parts. There are various types of questions, but they are all simple. Now, if you have gone through the IELTS listening lessons, you must have understood what these various question types are about, because we have actually looked at them one by one. Now, let's, at a glance, look again at these different tasks, different types of questions. All right. Again, you have the multiple choice. You have identifying information, identifying writer's view, matching information, matching headings, matching features, matching sentence endings. Then you have sentence completion. Sorry for this. Then, of course, you have summary, note, table, flow chart completion. You have diagram, label completion, short answer questions, different types of questions. Again, more on question types. You have more matching headings, multiple choice, short answer, name matching, true, false, not given, yes or no, not given, summary completion, matching sentence endings, sentence completion, table completion, matching information to paragraphs, diagram labeling. In a nutshell, you expect different types of questions, but you don't have to bother yourself about these various types of questions. Don't get it twisted. Whatever type of questions you are going to be given, of course, these various lessons and practice tests in this module will show you how to answer these questions correctly. All right. Now, what skills are tested in IELTS reading? Now, when we went through the IELTS listening, we discovered that what is tested in the IELTS listening is your listening skill, your ability to listen to audio recording, to a conversation, to a speech, understand what it is about, and answer questions. Now, the reading is something similar, but here you know that reading is a different language skill from listening. So the reading test is designed to assess your ability to do the following. One, your ability to read for gist, that is the general meaning, to read for main ideas, to read for detail, to understand inferences and implied meaning, to recognize writers' opinions, attitudes, and purpose, to follow the development of an argument. So now, if you have passed through the O level or the high school, you must have learned, different reading methods or techniques, and you understand when you read for a purpose. You read either to find the details or to find the main ideas or just to have a general overview. Now, these are the various skills that are being tested in the IELTS reading. Now, let's look at the skills that you need in order to answer questions correctly in the IELTS reading test. The first is skimming. Now, to skim is to read through the text quickly, get meaning from keywords and chunks of language that make up phrases. It's the normal reading. Don't get it twisted. The important thing is for you to read a text and understand what it is about. Then scanning is a method that is used to look for words or numbers closely related to the specific piece of information you want to find. When women go for a scan, please, what are they looking for? They are looking for a specific piece of information. All right. If you are asked to get into a room and pick a purse, of course, when you go there, you are going to scan the entire room looking for a particular item, and that is a purse. So you are not just searching the whole room and trying to look at what is there or what is not there. You are looking for a specific piece of information, and once you pick it, that ends the search. That is the beauty of the scanning method. You are looking for a specific piece of information. The next is detailed reading. This has to do with reading the text or a given part of it, word for word, to understand exactly what it says. This enables you to dig deeper into the text to get the detail that provides the answer. All right. When you read detail, then of course you are able to identify the specific pieces of information that you need for the answer. Now, the next will be using context. You can use the text that comes immediately before and after a particular word or phrase to help explain its meaning. Most English words acquire meaning in context. So this is very important because English words are like chameleons, and just like chameleons change their color from one physical environment to another, so English words change their meaning from one context to another. So it is important you know the context of a word. For example, the word man has one meaning in this sentence. For example, Musa is a man. The meaning of man is a male adult human being. That is the meaning. But what if in another sentence we say Musa was asked to man the engine room, the same word man, but then in sentence 2, the meaning of man changes because of the context, all right? It is no longer a male adult human being, but it is an action. To man the engine room is to take charge of it, or to control it, or to supervise the engine room. So you can see that English words change their meanings from one context to another. And so when you use context, it means you are actually reading the text with a view to understanding the meaning of the words and how they are used in that specific context. Now let's look at other reading skills. And one of them is using the topic sentence. The topic sentence is a sentence that contains the main idea of a given paragraph. When you identify the topic sentence of a paragraph, it helps you to understand what that paragraph is about without reading everything. All right. So it is a very important thing. The content, the topic sentence refers to the paragraph, but when we are talking of the whole text, we will be talking of what we call the thesis statement. You know, such sentences enable you to actually read faster and with greater or quicker understanding, because, you know, once you are able to identify the main idea, then you don't need to spend the whole time reading everything, okay? Then using the keywords is another skill that you need to understand. Identify the keywords in each question, and it will help you to locate the answer in the passage. So the keywords in the question will enable you to connect to identify the keywords that links the question to the answer. That's why before you actually start reading the passage, it's true you read the question and know exactly what you are going to look for. When you pick the keywords from the question, they help you to identify the answer more quickly in the passage, all right? And now, completing the answer sheet. In the IELTS reading test, you will not be given extra time at the end to transfer your answers to the answer sheet. You know, if you have gone through the IELTS listening lessons in Module 1, you must have seen that you are usually given 10 minutes at the end of listening to the audio recording. And within these 10 minutes, you should be able to transfer your answers from the question booklet to the answer sheet. All right, so that is the practice, and that is why during the lessons on listening, I always emphasize that while listening to the audio recording, you should be entering your answers directly in the question sheet, because later you'll be given extra 10 minutes to transfer your answers from the question sheet to the answer sheet. This is a different thing altogether when it comes to the reading test, all right? So complete the answer sheet as you go along in the reading test. Don't enter your answers in any question, this thing. By the way, you are given the answer sheet, so you will complete the answer sheet as you go along, because you are not going to be given any extra time to transfer your answers. So you must fill in the answers exactly as instructed, or you will lose the mark, okay? Now, these are other key points you must note. One, it is essential to get grammar and spelling right. This is very important. You know, you'll be copying them from the text, so this should be easy. You know, for many answers, you'll be just copying them. You know, taking that extra bit of care will save you marks, okay? If you need to make a correction, cross through your answer with a line and write the new answer next to it. Okay, don't do multiple canceling or defacing. Just, you know, cross through your answer with a line. Then you enter the new answer. You are allowed to cancel something if you need to correct something, but you have to do that neatly. Another thing you should note is that you don't have to skip any of the questions. You know, so if you have to guess, you can guess, but make sure you enter the answers. All right, don't leave them blank. Okay. At least it's just logical that you do this, because if you do this, you have at least some chance of getting it right and gaining a mark. That's better than leaving it blank, okay? So, and this is where we draw the curtain on today's lesson, IELTS reading, and our focus has been on understanding the basics, all right? So, I hope this lesson has been able to give you the general overview of what the IELTS reading test is all about. And so in the next lesson, we shall be looking in details, how to answer these questions, how to actually, apply the knowledge we have gained so far in tackling the IELTS reading test. So if you have any questions, comments, or suggestions, leave them in the comment section below. I look forward to seeing you in the next class. Goodbye for now.